Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to an all-new reaction and review. Tonight, guys, I'm taking a look at a film from legendary independent director John Waters. I would like to admit, before I even start, I have sadly only seen one film directed by John Waters, and it's not one of his more well-known films. It was not Polyester, it wasn't Mondo Trasho, it wasn't Hairspray, it was Serial Mom. Now, Serial Mom was still good, but I don't think that was a good way of trying to introduce myself to the style of John Waters. Tonight's film, on the other hand, I've been told is probably the best way to get started with John Waters films. In fact, this one is probably his most famous work. I can tell it's at least partially famous, or at the very least infamous, because I've gotten a ton of requests for it in the past few weeks, which is kind of funny when you really think about it, because this thing seems a little bit out of left field for people to be all of a sudden flooding me with requests for it. Tonight's film, before I even show you the cover, give you the year, all that, I want to read the blurb on the front, because I just saw this, and this is really kind of piquing my interest a little bit. The blurb on the front of the DVD here comes from Daily Variety, and it says, and I quote, "One of the most vile, stupid, and repulsive films ever made." I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but now I'm kind of interested. Tonight's film came out in 1972. The title is Pink Flamingos. Yes, guys, John Waters' famous or infamous, again, depending on your point of view, film Pink Flamingos. I have wanted to watch this film for many, many years. I've never been able to get my hands on a copy of it. Thankfully, one of you bought it off of the Amazon wish list, and now I have my chance. So, I don't know what the fuck I'm getting into here. The only thing I know is that according to most people, if you're going to watch a film directed by John Waters, you should either start with Pink Flamingos or with Hairspray. Those usually are the two you're supposed to start with. Since I started with Serial Mom, that was my fault. So now I'm going to make it up by giving this thing a shot. So, without further ado, it's time to kick back, relax, and check out Pink Flamingos. Holy shit, this is some of the worst acting I've ever fucking seen. But holy shit, it is almost lovably shitty acting. I'm actually kind of enjoying this. Well, guys, I will have to say that plus side of this is that, well, at least the soundtrack's pretty good. At least I kind of like this sort of music. So, hey. You know, so far, I mean, we aren't really getting much for a plot, but hell, at least the music's decent. Did I just see Divine go and take a fucking dump on somebody's lawn? Okay. That was kind of fucking disgusting. Are you raping her with that fucking chicken? What the fuck am I watching? So, to show that they're filthier than Divine, the Marbles mailed her a year-old turd. Sure. That's totally filthy. That's totally filthier than taking a shit on somebody's lawn. Yeah, totally. Alright, folks, I believe it's time for me to kind of share this. This whole, like, party scene kind of sucks. Then again, okay. I didn't know that Surfin' Bird was part of the soundtrack, but back to my point. This entire party scene really kind of sucks. Yay, and now we have a contortionist flashing his dick and sucking himself off. Oh, joy. So, after finding out where the marbles live, the best that Divine can come up with to try to out-filthy them is to lick everything in their nasty-looking apartment. I'm not really sure if that's filthy as much as it's just fucking disgusting. Okay. That is fucking filthy. Divine is giving her son a blowjob. No, guys, this is not fucking simulated. This isn't bullshit. No. Divine's actually giving him a fucking blowjob, and it is absolutely one of the nastiest things. God damn it, we don't need a close-up of it. Oh, shit. With all of the filthy bullshit which this film is shown, thankfully we don't have to see Channing's dick being cut off. Thank God for small fucking favors, guys. So, according to this movie, you can kill people for being an asshole. If that were true, I would be a serial fucking killer, and I'd love every second of it. Just thought I'd share that with you guys. Well, guys, that was Pink Flamingos. Believe it or not, Pink Flamingos does not have closing credits. Which would probably explain why the opening credits took almost 3 fucking minutes to get through. So, let's discuss the movie. Some of you might happen to remember, a while back I reviewed a film called Troll 2. And with that movie, I could not come up with a single positive thing to say about it in terms of writing, acting, effects, this, that, yada, yada, yada. But I still couldn't help but love the movie and recommend it wholeheartedly. Guys, Pink Flamingos is in the same fucking boat. Allow me to attempt to explain. I could easily go on at great length about how stupid the fucking story is, how horrible the acting is, how just god-awful a lot of... about how horrible the sound mix is. Mind you, I am going to go into detail on all this. But none of it stops this film from being one of the most interesting things I have ever seen. Mind you, it is not good in any sense, but god damn it, the movie is worth watching. I'm going to start with the plot. The plot, as thin as it is this. Divine, as well as her family. I'm just going to say her family because, well, they kind of remind me of the Manson family, but on a much smaller level, because there's only like 4 of them. They have, well, not actually all of them, but just fucking Divine has been called the filthiest person to ever live. And she apparently is proud of this fact. I don't know why any human being would be proud of being the filthiest person to ever live, but let's just pretend that makes sense for just a second. This apparently pisses off a woman by the name of Connie Marble, who, with her husband and their butler, are trying, or, well, butler or houseboy or whatever the fuck he was supposed to be, are trying to out-filthy Divine. That's it. That, guys, is the entire fucking plot. Yes, there is some shit about Divine having a birthday party and Divine's mother gets married to Eggman. No, it is not the Sonic character. It's some dude who delivers and sells eggs. Just all this other kind of stupid bullshit, but none of it really factors much into the Marbles are trying to out-filthy Divine and her family. That's it. And to even attempt to say that there's more to this film would be an absolute insult to the film itself. I do not believe that John Waters was going for something deep here. I think he was going for a gross-out film, and god damn it, he fucking succeeded and was still able to make a great movie out of it. Now, thanks to the story, we have some absolutely disgusting shit. Alright, we have people shitting, we have people eating shit, we have We have murder, we have cannibalism, we have sex slaves, we have just all this other kind of weird and goofy shit. And apparently, filthy is not exactly what all of us might think it means. Because to me, like, the filthiest person in the world would have to be somebody who has not bathed in 6 years and does not know how to properly use a toilet. So it'd be somebody who's constantly, like, pissing and shitting, you know, them fucking selves, who haven't bathed in 3 years and haven't changed their clothes in 6 months. To me, that would be the filthiest person to ever live. So basically almost anyone who appears on any daytime talk show. But hey, here, though, apparently filthy is everything from being a whore and murdering people, cannibalism, drug use, sex slaves. You fucking name it, and it apparently constitutes being filthy. I am not going to question it. It probably made sense when John Waters was writing this. So, you know, apparently because you know, filthy is used in such a broad fashion, a lot of shit here is being constituted as filthy, but it doesn't make any sense. Now, that is one of the minor gripes I have in terms of the writing, but it doesn't kill the film. It still is a fantastic movie. It's just I kind of wish that they would have narrowed down exactly what constitutes being filthy. And apparently, you can do almost anything which is not normal, and it's filthy. I don't care. I'm going to move on. Let's talk about acting. Oh my god, is this acting ever shit. Guys, I said that Troll 2 had some of the worst acting I've ever seen. Pink Flamingos has worse acting. Pink Flamingos has acting that would be considered shit if it were done by a bunch of second graders. This is some of the worst acting you will ever see committed to film and released professionally on DVD, shy of being a straight-out porno film. So yeah, guys, the acting here is just absolutely abysmal, but that is part of this movie's charm. The fact that there are people who are talking in the most broken way possible. It almost seems as if they're trying to read a script which has been tacked on to different points on the fucking wall, so that way in mid-sentence they have to change and find where the next page is. That's how it seems. It's so broken. It is so disjointed. It is so shitty. And when we don't have people who apparently are like looking every fucking where to find out where the hell the cue cards were tacked up, people are overacting in ways you will never see in any other film. So we have people either overacting, underacting, or just reading off of cue cards, which apparently have been tossed and scattered to the fucking winds. So we have every form of bad acting, and it all forms this perfect fucking storm of failure that works so well. You are gonna be laughing at the horrible acting. Oh my god, guys. Words cannot describe how shitty the acting is. You have to watch this movie to know exactly what I'm fucking talking about in terms of acting. The sound mix. I mentioned the sound mix. Now, I know earlier I mentioned I know during the reaction I talked about the soundtrack. Soundtrack is all 50s and 60s, like doo-wop and pop. It's really good shit, alright? I kind of have a soft spot for oldies. And it's some really solid music. I mean, so hey, that is awesome. However, I'm going to assume it's because John Waters didn't know how to edit sound back in 1972, but for whatever reason, if there's music in the scene, there is no dialogue. In fact, you will see characters' mouths moving. You will see that there is clearly dialogue there, but you won't be able to hear it because John Waters didn't know how to layer and mix the audio from both the music and from the source. Either that, or else the camera he was using for those scenes didn't have a fucking microphone, or he didn't have a boom mic handy, and he just thought, fuck it, let's just layer fucking music over it. But anyway, we have a lot of that. And if there's dialogue, there is no music. And there are certain scenes where they had to Foley in sound effects, and they're some of the worst Foley work you will ever hear. Guys, At one point, there is a raging fire. Instead of just filming a fire and just recording the audio and then layering it over the video, which, you know, would have made sense, apparently somebody had a microphone and a bunch of styrofoam, and they just started taking the styrofoam and just mashing it together. And that is the sound of a crackling fire. I am not kidding you. If you listen, you can tell it's just styrofoam being pressed, mashed, and twisted. It sounds really horrible. But god damn it, it fucking works. In its own cruel, bizarre way, it fucking works. And the horrible sound, like fucking sound mix works. The camera work in this thing is absolutely hideous. We have some of the worst jump cuts seen in the history of film. And they work. The jump cuts work. It's amazing, amazing jump cuts. Which also lead to some people having, you know, their fucking mouths moving long after they stop talking, which, again, it's kind of funny. It kind of helps add to it. It builds on. Now, there's also a lot of goofy sex in this thing. I'm talking, we have, well, I mentioned the fucking blowjob earlier. We also have she-males. The fact that our lead, I believe, is, well, she is either a she-male, a drag queen, or a fucking transvestite. I'm not sure which. Divine is one of those. I don't know which, and I don't care. I don't want to know. So we have all of this shit, and it's all just there, alright? We also have a contortionist. Now, I mentioned earlier that he was, you know, like, sucking himself off. He wasn't. What he was doing was, he was taking and he was pulsating his fucking anus to get it to open really, really wide. I want you guys to just picture, you know, Goatsy, except without the hands prying it open. This guy's doing it all with just his ass muscles, and it's really sick. And that really is the one warning I have. Yes, guys, I am going to recommend this fucking thing, but if you are in any way easily sickened, don't watch this, alright? You are not going to want to watch it because there is shit eating. There is the thing fucking with the ass. There is the fucking blowjob. There's chicken. There's, like, chicken rape. It is not for the easily offended, okay? Now, since I am not easily offended, and I am able to watch almost fucking anything, and am very rarely moved to tears or moved sick, I was able to fucking enjoy it. And you might be able to find a copy of this thing pretty cheap, or you might be able to find it on Netflix. I don't know if Pink Flamingos is on Netflix, and if it is, give it a watch. That's really the only thing I can tell you guys, is just give it a watch, because I don't know if you guys are going to enjoy it, but I do have to warn you. This film is about 300 different shades of fucked up, and if you're not into that sort of thing, you are going to despise this fucking movie. Now, Pink Flamingos came off of the Amazon.com wish list. The person who sent it in is a guy who sent in quite a few movies to the series. And his YouTube screen name is Medio Surreal. As always, I'm going to provide a link to his YouTube channel. And, Medio, dude, thank you. I have always wanted to see this film. In fact, I've always wanted to watch a lot of John, Waters' movies, and I've never had the chance. And you gave me the chance to finally say I've seen more than just Serial Mom. And really, I think this one is a little bit better. Granted, Serial Mom actually has a sound mix. It has acting which is, decent. It has writing that actually makes some level of sense. It has camera work that's competent. But it doesn't have the charm of this fucked up thing. My God, guys, I have never seen a movie this fucked up in my life that I actually enjoyed. And that is saying a lot. So, with that, we come to the close of another reaction and review. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I will see you all in the near future. Peace.